Why not drop out of school? I can't afford it anymore. Hello, daughter. Please say something. The man's chest tightened. He quietly ended the call. Moments later, the girl came running back, panicked and sweating. Sir, did you see a phone around here? Is this yours? He asked, showing the phone. Yes, it's mine. All right, he said. Dial your number on my phone to verify. She did, and indeed, it was hers. After returning the phone, the man smiled gently and said, Miss, please hold my bag. I need to use the restroom. Sure, she replied. Minutes passed, but he never returned. Suddenly, her phone rang again. Hello, miss. Are you still waiting? Yes, sir. Where are you? He replied softly. I won't return. In that bag, there's $30,000 in cash. Use it for your sick dad and for your tuition. The girl dropped to her knees crying. Sir, I hoped and prayed for help, and finally, God sent you. Thank you, sir. God bless you. When all hope seems lost, God always sends help. Two kids knocked on a door. Their father opened it. Dad, we came to see you. His face darkened. He quickly pulled them inside. Why are you here? Don't you know I have a new family now? One of them whispered, Dad, we need money. We haven't eaten since morning. We don't even go to school anymore. The father was shocked. What about the $4,000 I send your mom every month in child support? They looked down. Dad, Mom goes out every night with her boyfriend. She gambles. Dad, can we live with you? He was silent, then said quietly, No, you can't. I'm married now. My wife won't accept this. Just then, his pregnant wife walked in. Honey, he stammered, I can explain. But she turned and walked away. Panicked, he shoved some cash into the kid's hands. Go now, before you cause more trouble. I'll visit later. But then something unexpected happened. His wife reappeared, carrying a tray of food. Kids, have you eaten? Come, sit, eat. The children ate as if they hadn't seen food in days. Afterward, she gently took them to the bathroom, washed their hands, wiped their tired faces, and fixed their messy hair. For the first time, they felt a mother's tenderness. Then she pulled her husband aside. Why didn't you tell me? I didn't know how you'd react. I thought giving them money was enough. She looked at him and said, Money alone doesn't bring real happiness. Kids need love. They need a family. Let them live here. But it's not fair to you, he said. She replied softly, I'll give them the love of a real mother. At that moment, the children, who had been listening, ran forward, clinging tightly to their stepmother, tears streaming down their faces, because being a parent isn't just about biology. It's about love, sacrifice, and showing up. A doctor put up a sign outside his clinic. If I cure you, you pay $20. If I can't, I'll give you $100. A lawyer saw it and decided to test the doctor's intelligence. He walked in and said, Doctor, I've lost my sense of taste. The doctor turned to his nurse and said, Bring medicine number 33. The lawyer tasted it and shouted, This is gasoline. The doctor smiled. Great, that means your sense of taste is back. That'll be $20. Day 2. The lawyer returned. Doctor, I've lost my memory. The doctor calmly told the nurse, Bring medicine number 33. The lawyer quickly said, Wait, that's the same medicine you gave me yesterday. The doctor grinned. Perfect. Your memory is fine. That'll be $20. Day 3. Now the lawyer was frustrated. He said, Doctor, I've gone blind. The doctor paused and said, Sorry, I can't cure blindness. Here's $100. But when the lawyer looked at the bill, he shouted, Hey, this is only $5. The doctor smiled and said, Wonderful. So you're not blind anymore. That'll be another $20. No matter how smart you think you are, there's always someone smarter. 2 seeds accidentally fell from a farmer's hand and landed side by side. One fell into soft soil. It sprouted quickly and grew tall with ease. The other, it fell into a crack in a rock. At first, nothing happened, but slowly, patiently, it pushed its roots deeper. Rain after rain, year after year, it kept growing, even when no one could see it. Until one day, the rock split open, and from that crack, a strong tree emerged. It grew even stronger than the first one, strong enough to survive winds and storms, because a calm sea never made a skilled sailor, and fast growth doesn't always mean strong roots. Real growth takes time, and deep roots can break even the hardest stone. She walked straight into first class, sat down, buckled in, confident. But her ticket said economy. The flight attendant walked over kindly. "Excuse me, ma'am, this seat's not yours. You're in economy." The woman didn't even flinch. "I'm beautiful. I'm comfortable. I'm going to Paris to visit my rich boyfriend, and I'm staying right here." So the flight attendant walked to the cockpit. "Captain, we've got a situation." The co-pilot comes out, explains the rules, the policies, even the price for an upgrade. But the woman just smiles and repeats, "I'm beautiful. I'm comfortable. I'm going to Paris, and I'm staying right here." They were about to call security until an old man who had been listening quietly stood up. He asked, "Did she say she's going to Paris?" They nodded, "Yes." He calmly walked over to the woman, leaned in, and whispered one sentence. She paused, blinking, then stood up quietly and walked straight back to her economy seat. Everyone was stunned. The co-pilot asked, "What did you say to her?" The old man shrugged. "I told her first class isn't going to Paris. Because sometimes you don't need to argue harder. You just need to say the right thing." A woman was standing on a crowded bus with her little daughter. The girl cried, "Mom, my legs hurt. I just want to sit." The mother looked around. Every seat was full, except one. A young man was sitting there, wearing headphones. So she tapped him and said, "You're young. Let my little girl sit." The young man hesitated. She raised her voice. "There's no love in this world anymore. Can't you see my child crying? And you just sit there?" Finally, the man stood up. And then the whole bus went silent. Because everyone saw the truth. He had only one leg. But the woman didn't care. She pulled her daughter down and said, "Sit, don't argue. You're just a child." The girl looked at the man, struggling to balance, staggering as the bus moved. Her heart broke, so she quickly stood up. She grabbed the man's hand and gently said, "Please sit down, sir. I don't want it anymore." The bus grew quiet again because a little girl just showed what many adults forget. Sometimes children remind us how to be human.
You ever wonder why you hate the sound of your own voice, especially if it's been recorded and played back to you? Well, there's actually a really interesting reason for this. So when you hear other people's voices, you're hearing it through something called air conduction. So the sound waves are coming through the air, down your ear canal, get amplified by some small bones, and then end up here in the fluid-filled cochlea, where there's a ton of little hairs that send nerve signals to your brain, which you interpret as sound. But the difference is, when you hear your own voice, you're also hearing it through something called bone conduction. So your vocal cords and your bones literally vibrate, including your skull where your ear is. And as a result, because bones tend to transfer lower frequencies, people tend to hear their own voice in a slightly lower pitch compared to how other people hear it. Now, the problem occurs when you hear your own voice played back to you. There's no longer any bone conduction, it's just air conduction. And as a result, it sounds slightly different to you, which is why every time you hear it, it makes you feel really uncomfortable and most of the time cringe. So which one is your real voice? The one you hear or the one everyone else does?
If you think you can unlock someone's phone with their finger after they die, don't even waste your time. Many people assume fingerprint scanners only read the lines on your skin. Others even think a fake silicone finger could fool it. But that's not how these sensors work at all. So, what really happens? I'll tell you. But if you want a new phone, tap the like button, click subscribe, then share. And when you tap the copy link, this amazing thing never happens. Here's the truth. Fingerprint sensors read tiny electrical signals from living skin. Once a person dies, that signal disappears completely, making the finger useless. And Face ID, it checks for movement and warmth, meaning it won't recognize anything that isn't alive. Be honest, did you ever believe this myth?
If you listen to music at full volume in your earbuds, it feels amazing in the moment. But here's what's really happening. Those tiny hair cells inside your inner ear, they start vibrating like crazy. Day after day, that strong vibration wears them down. And once they die, they never grow back. That's how permanent hearing loss starts. And the longer you push it, the more likely you'll get tinnitus, an endless ringing sound in your ears that never goes away.
When a honeybee stings a human, they actually get stuck for a while and can't leave. And this is because their stinger is barbed, which means it can't retract once it's lodged into something. But once the bee finally pulls away, its insides get ripped out because the stinger stays in the skin. This leaves the bee without some of its internal organs, resulting in its death.
These are 8 horrifying facts that will probably keep you up at night. There are thousands of old diseases frozen in the glaciers of the world, and global warming will eventually release them all. If a person dies in their costume at Disney, like Mickey Mouse, they have to be sat down on a bench so it looks like they're resting. Climate change is making spiders bigger. Some female spiders allow their young to eat them alive. Tooth in the eye surgery is when surgeons put a tooth in a blind person's eye to restore their sight. It was pioneered in the 1960s, and it actually works, and it's still being done today. The chances of a successful CPR outside of a hospital is only 7%. Cell phones are 10 times dirtier than a toilet seat. When you suddenly wake up during the night without any reason, there was someone or something staring at you. Yeah, there's a lot more, like for part 12.
3 interesting facts about candy you didn't need to know. Number 3. Snickers bars were called marathon bars in the UK for over 60 years. This was because the word Snickers unfortunately rhymed with the word knickers, which is a British term for ladies' underwear. Number 2. Have you ever wondered why each M&M is stamped with an M? Well, it's actually because of this other very similar candy called Smarties. You see, back in the 50s, M&Ms didn't want there to be any confusion between which product you were consuming, so they branded theirs with an M. Number 1. Skittles are also branded with an S, and for some reason, if you put them in water, the S actually detaches and floats off of the Skittle.
Why does rubbing your eyes feel so good, but actually cause damage? You see, most people think it's harmless relief, but doing it too hard or too often triggers damage you don't feel right away. So what's actually happening when you rub your eyes? I'll tell you, but if you don't want this happen to your eyes, tap like, hit subscribe, and share this fast. Repeated rubbing can scratch and weaken the cornea. Over time, it may thin and bulge, distorting vision and increasing the risk of permanent eye damage. Why do your knuckles make a sound when you crack them? You see, most people think it's your bones snapping together, and that's why it sounds so loud. But that's actually not what's happening at all. So what's really happening? I'll tell you, but if you don't want this happen to you, tap like, hit subscribe, and share this fast. Inside your joints is a slippery fluid called synovial fluid, filled with tiny gases. When you bend or stretch your fingers, it creates pressure that forms small gas bubbles. When those bubbles collapse or dissolve, they produce the familiar cracking sound.
Help! 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 Help!